Ayogen Morning News Update. I am ABIODUN. We are glad you're joining us this morning. These are our top stories. INEC begins set up as 2.2 million voters decide Edo's next governor. Ighodalo Akpata Okpebholo orders battery to take over from Obaseki. IGP orders restriction of movement on roads, waterways. Federal government Labour sign MOU on 70,000 naira new minimum wage. Police arrest political thugs, recover firearms in overnight raids. Police arrest two in Lagos for allegedly selling newborn twins. Katsina government summons stakeholders on how to reduce impact of heavy rainfall and flooding. In international news, Israel investigates after its soldiers filmed throwing bodies off roof. Top Hezbollah commander killed in Israeli strike on Beirut. U.S. soldier who fled to North Korea sentenced for desertion. In sports, Man City face Arsenal in Premier League title tussle. Guardiola tells players to lead change over workload fears. More updates on the highlights after this short break. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. We're glad you tuned with us. More updates on the highlights. INEC begins set up as 2.2 million voters decide Edo's next governor after months of campaigns and intrigues. Voters in Edo State are set to cast their ballot in the governorship election. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) had declared 17 parties for the September 21st election as candidates battle to take over the reins of leadership from the incumbent governor Godwin Obaseki. His tenure ends in November. Asue Ighodalo of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), the All Progressives Congress (APC's) Monday Okpebholo and Olumide Akpata of the Labour Party (LP) are the major contenders for the battle. The election will be held in 4,519 polling units across the 18 local government areas of Edo State. Ighodalo Akpata Okpebholo orders battle to take over from Obaseki. After months of campaigns and intrigues, voters in Edo State are set to cast their ballots in the governorship election. The Independent National Electoral Commission had declared 17 parties for the September 21st election as candidates battle to take over the reins of leadership from incumbent Governor Godwin Obaseki. His tenure ends in November. IGP orders restriction of movement on roads, waterways. The Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Egbetokun, directed the restriction of movement in Edo ahead of the governorship poll in the state. Edo residents head to the ballot on Saturday, September 21st, 2024 to choose their governor, but to ensure a hitch-free exercise, the IGP ordered the restriction of movement in the state. A statement by the Forces Public Relations Officer Olumuyiwa Adejobi and IGP has ordered the restriction of all vehicular movement on roads, waterways and other forms of transportation from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. on election day. The Friday statement, however, said exceptions will be made for essential services, including accredited media, electoral officials, ambulances, and emergency responders to maintain the integrity of the electoral process. The IGP has also placed a ban on all security aids and escorts accompanying VIPs to polling booths and collation centers. Federal government Labour signed MOU on 70,000 naira new minimum wage. The federal government and the Labour Union have signed a memorandum of understanding on the 70,000 naira new minimum wage. The statement by the Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation on Friday and signed by the Head Information and Public Relations Eno Olotu said the Committee on Salaries for Civil Servants has agreed that the new minimum wage will be implemented from 29 July 2024. The agreement is part of the resolutions reached at the end of the committee's meeting in Abuja on Friday. According to the statement, the committee also recommended that the wage award, which the federal government discontinued, should be paid until 28 July 2024. The committee, led by the head of Civil Service of the Federation, Didi Walsin Jack, noted that the government considered the economic situation in the country before making its decisions. Police arrest political thugs, recover firearms in overnight raids. The Nigeria Police Force has made a significant breakthrough in its effort to curb electoral violence in Edo State with the arrest of political thugs. A statement by the Force Public Relations Officer ACP Oluyinwa Adejobi in Abuja on Saturday said those arrested were Edwin Obano, 48 years old, and Audu Tajuddin, a 41-year-old PDP member from Ngbobo Quarters, Igara Akoko, Edo. Adejobi said they were arrested acting on a tip-off that some individuals had been armed to cause mayhem and disability during the election on Saturday. The police operatives swooped into action and apprehended Obano, a leader of an armed group at Oredo Ward 4 at about 9 p.m. and Audu Tajuddin at Igara Akoko, Edo on the eve of the election. Upon searching the bags in their possession, 3 cut-to-size locally fabricated pistols were discovered on Obano, while 1 locally made gun was recovered from Tajuddin. The statement said these arrests are a testament to the Nigeria Police Force's commitment to containing law and order and ensuring a peaceful electoral process. The police and other supported security agencies will not tolerate any form of violence or disorderliness during the election in Edo State. Police arrest 2 in Lagos for allegedly selling newborn twins. Police operatives in the Lagos State have arrested 2 persons for allegedly selling newborn twins. The spokesman of the Lagos State Police Command, Benjamin Ondeyin, said the arrest in the Bega area of the state came after a Good Samaritan alerted officers from the Ojodu division about the suspect. The suspects were found with 2 newborn baby girls, approximately 6 days old, while traveling from Abia State on September 9, 2024. Udain said in a Friday statement, police investigations showed that the suspects were en route to deliver the babies to one nurse in Lagos State, whom the mother of the babies promised to link them up with only after they arrived in Lagos. Katsina government summons stakeholders on how to reduce impact of rainfall and flooding. The Katsina State Governor, Diko Rada, on Thursday summoned all relevant stakeholders in the state to deliberate on possible ways to reduce the impact of heavy downpours and flooding predicted by the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET. The governor, represented by the secretary to the state government of the state, Honorable Abdullahi Gaba Faskari, in the press briefing held at the SSG's office in the state secretariat, said the state government deemed it fit to take proactive measures to avert the predicted situation. It stressed that the need for stakeholders to start sensitizing the general public to reduce the impact of the expected heavy rainfall. The meeting was attended by the state commissioners for health, environment, agriculture and livestock development, water resources, finance, local government and chieftaincy affairs alongside local government chairman of Bakuri, Bandawa, Dahura, Funtua and Katsina. It was gathered that all relevant stakeholders in this matter on the need to do the needful to avert any ugly situation that may arise due to the predicted heavy rainfall will deem it fit to take proactive measures following the prediction by the NIMET, and by coming together underscores the importance of this matter, Faskari added. Israel investigates after its soldiers filmed throwing bodies off roof. More updates on the highlight after this short break. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. Israel investigates after its soldiers filmed throwing bodies off roof. Israel's military has launched an investigation after its soldiers were filmed throwing the bodies of 3 dead Palestinians off a rooftop during a raid in the occupied West Bank. Footage of the incident, filmed in the northern town of Karbatia near Jenin, then appears to show an Israeli military bulldozer picking up and removing the bodies. The images have sparked widespread outrage. The Israel Defense Forces IDF said on Friday that it was a serious incident that did not conform to its values and what was expected of its forces. Local Palestinian officers say at least 7 people were killed by Israeli forces in Karbatia on Thursday. Under international law, soldiers are obliged to ensure that bodies, including those enemy fighters, are treated with respect. The IDF said it carried out a counter-terrorism operation in Karbatia, during which 4 militants were killed in an exchange of fire, and 3 others were killed after a drone strike on a car. Top Hezbollah commander killed in Israeli strike on Beirut. A top Hezbollah military commander was killed in an Israeli airstrike on the Lebanese capital Beirut on Friday, in a major escalation that has added to fears of an all-out war. Hezbollah confirmed Ibrahim Akil's death after Israel said he was one of the several senior Hezbollah figures killed in the strike. Earlier, Lebanese officers said at least 14 people were killed and dozens injured in the strike that hit the densely populated Dahieh area, a stronghold of the iron-backed group in the city's southern suburbs. Political Affairs Chief Rosemary DiCarlo, who was speaking at a session of the Security Council following this week's attacks, which saw Hezbollah's pages and walkie-talkies explode, killing at least 37 people. In Beirut, there were chaotic scenes as emergency teams rushed to the site of the attack, rescuing the wounded and searching for people believed to be trapped under the rubble. At least 1 residential building collapsed and others were heavily damaged. U.S. soldiers who fled to North Korea sentenced for desertion. Travis King, the U.S. soldier who fled from South to North Korea last year before being returned home, has been sentenced to 1 year of confinement and dishonorably discharged from the military. He faced charges including desertion in July 2023 and assault of a non-commissioned officer, but with time already served and credit for good behavior. The 24-year-old Army private walked free, his legal team told BBC. At Friday's hearing at Fort Bliss, Texas, he pleaded guilty to 5 of the original 14 military charges that had been filed against him. The court's counts were dismissed. In sports, Man City face Arsenal in Premier League title tussle. Manchester City host Arsenal in a showdown between the Premier League title favourites on Sunday, while Tottenham boss Ange Postecoglou badly needs a win when the side hosts Brentford. Liverpool are looking to bounce back from a shock home defeat to Nottingham Forest when Bournemouth visit Anfield and Manchester United seek revenge with a trip to Crystal Palace. Guardiola tells players to lead change over workload fears. Manchester City boss Pep Guardiola has urged players to lead the fight for change in the heated debate over the dangers posed by an increased fixture schedule. City midfielder Rodri recently suggested players will consider going on strike in a bid to halt a dramatic rise in matches crammed into an already hectic calendar. Top players also have international fixtures to factor into the grueling schedule. Global Players Union (FIFP Pro) has said footballers should play a maximum of 50 to 60 games per season, depending on their age. And that was Ayogen Morning News Update. I am ABIODUN Janet. Do enjoy the rest of the day and remember to follow us on our Facebook page, Ayogen Media. Take care and good day.